Today we will be learning how to make a very easy potato bacon soup. I recommend this to people who don't really know how to cook because it's very, very easy. So today we are going to start off with 2 tablespoons of butter, 3/4 cups of finely chopped onion, 2 cups of peeled and diced potatoes, 1½ cups of water, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon ground black pepper, 1 3/4 cup milk, 3 tablespoons of real bacon bits. Alright, so we want to start off by chopping your potatoes. So you want to make sure you chop them enough so that they're not too small, but you don't want them to be too big because then you'll choke. Now the thing with dicing potatoes is that it is actually a physical change because cutting usually separates the molecules without changing them. That's what we're doing here. You want to make sure you dice the potatoes. So as you can see, we're baking the bacon in the back because we didn't want to use real bacon bits. So baking bacon is actually both physical and a chemical change. The physical aspect of it is as the meat muscle fibers are heated, they begin to pull together as the protein is denatured, which is caused by the heat, and the chemical is it includes the browning of meat fibers and the structural change to accommodate the oxidation. And the heating denatures globin, which is in it, but the pink color persists in the bacon. And we chose to use real bacon and not bacon bits. So you want to start off with a saucepan, and you actually want to melt the butter. That's what we're going to do. You're going to melt the butter. So melting butter is actually a chemical change, and it's hard to reverse because a chemical change has occurred while the butter was over the heat. So with your butter, you want to make sure you cover the whole pan, but make sure that you do not burn the butter, because then it will be nasty. And you know if it's burning, if it's turning brown, very, very brown, or possibly black. Alright, so in a bit, you're actually going to add our finely chopped onions. For our finely chopped onions, pyrolysis is a chemical change that is caused by the presence of heat, and this is the reaction that takes place to cause the caramelization of the onion. Pyrolysis involves a chemical and physical change. In the case of the onion, the chemical structure of the onion is changed by breaking down the larger starch and the sugar molecules into the onion. In the onion, and the physical structure is it's changed from a yellow-white color to a caramel brown color. And you can see they will turn brown eventually. Just make sure you don't burn them. So first, of course, you slice the onions, and then when they're added to a hot skillet, the heat causes the water in the onions to evaporate, which is why they start sweating. And onions are about 89% water, so they have lots of sweating to do, which means lots of water that will be released because they are being heated. The release of the water causes a breakdown in the structure of the onions, which is why they start softening. However, at this point, the onions are still heating up, and they are not ready enough to start the pyrolysis. Once the onions have reached a temperature where pyrolysis starts to happen, they start their browning. And this is where the magic happens. And it's also where you need to make sure that you do not let the onions burn. So basically just stir them every 5 to 10 minutes, but I am actually just stirring them now, just here and there, basically the whole time, so that they don't burn along with the butter. And I find that I can go longer intervals in the beginning, and then as it gets closer to the end, I needed to keep a more watchful eye on the onions so that they do not burn. Alright, at this point we're gonna add the potatoes, and then you're actually gonna add the water and the salt and the black ground pepper. When you actually you have to boil it, you have to put a cap on it and start boiling. When you boil water, the water molecules are forced away from each other, and when the liquid changes to vapor, but the molecules are still H2O. Now, dissolving salt and water, salt molecules are dispersed within the water, but the individual salt molecules are unchanged. So make sure you get it in there, and then you're gonna want to stir it to get everything to mix together. You gotta make sure you have everything under. Apparently, I don't know how to keep water in the saucepan. You gotta make sure everything kind of has water so that the potatoes can actually soften and get tender, and so that they're not that hard. And of course, you don't want your potatoes to be hard. Another thing I forgot to mention is that you can add parsley to this, but we actually didn't have the ingredient, and personally I am not a fan of parsley. So you can use parsley if you choose to. In this case, we unfortunately didn't do it, not unfortunately for me because I don't really like parsley, but yeah, that's another option. So now that it's been boiling for a couple of minutes, you actually want to check on it and make sure that some of the water has evaporated. Not all of it is going to evaporate, but you want most of it to evaporate. It will all be in the potatoes, and then you're going to add your milk and your bacon bits, or your real bacon bits that are real because other ones are fake. And you're going to add it to the saucepan. Next step is to add the milk, and then eventually you're gonna add in your bacon. And when you want to bring this to a boil, but you do not want to cover the lid. One thing that I personally think is I probably would have added more bacon to this because I'm a bacon lover. So I would have probably done that because it doesn't look like there's a lot of bacon that's gonna be put in there. I personally would have totally added so much more bacon. Probably not healthy for you, but I'm healthy, so I think a little bit of more bacon wouldn't hurt. And make sure to stir it well so that you can kind of get the bacon going around there and get the taste of the bacon to get into the milk and the potatoes. And of course, like the water, you are going to bring it to a boil. And it looks kind of nasty right now, but it's actually not nasty. You're going to bring it to a boil, and that's it. When it starts boiling, you want to turn it off, or put it on low heat until it stops boiling. And then if you do turn it off, make sure you remove it from where you were cooking it so that it stops cooking. And you want to mix it a little bit more, and that's what it looks like. And there you go, a very easy, super duper easy bacon potato soup recipe. It only took us 6 steps. I personally feel like I could have done this alone if I were to move out. I feel like you could do it too if you're going to move out, show your parents that you're independent and that you can cook yourself some soup if you're sick, or you can feed yourself. It was very, very good. We didn't show us eating it because we were all very embarrassed, but it was very delicious. steps to make this delicious soup. You want to make sure that you dice it at a very good size, not too big, not too small, because if they're too big you choke. And you want to make sure you put the butter in the saucepan and then add your onions, but do not burn them, please, or your butter. And then you're going to add the water, the salt, and the ground black pepper, and you're going to let it evaporate. And then you're going to add your milk along with the baking that comes after it. And then once you do that, you're going to want to let it sit without the top on. You're going to want to let it come to a boil. And then you'll be ready to go. Just stir it, let it come to a boil, and you should be very good with your very delicious, very easy potato bacon soup. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this is very helpful to you. And I truly believe that these were very 6 easy steps. The hard part is actually preparing everything, your potatoes, your onions, and getting everything measured. Other than that, everything else is very easy peasy. And I hope you enjoyed. If you try it at home.